Hi there, thank you so much for tuning in. This video is gonna be a recap of a presentation that I gave during a secret mastermind in Las Vegas that I attended at the beginning of the month, and on popular request I'm gonna do a redo of this one. And on top of that I'm gonna talk about my experiences, because when I did the presentation initially I was like a week away from the launch. I have launched in the meantime and I have some ideas on that, so let's get started. This is something I worked on since June basically. I played around with Gemini to get like a decent script to create a boring fictional universe for sleep, and I came back to this after the summer and I was impressed by how much better the work of Gemini became, and I mean the story-wise work of Gemini. So I was like, I gotta dig in and I gotta see if I can make this actually work. So that's this presentation, and so in this presentation I have like a couple of objectives. So I wanted to be able to identify the exact opportunity of the boring category. I wanted to be able to make a boring video using Gemini, Recraft AI, 11labs and Shotcut, and I want to come up with a personal strategy to bore into the boring category. And on top of that, like I stated earlier, I will make a report on my immediate plans after 1 week of being live with this new channel. So boring as a category, in everyday life, like boring has kind of a negative connotation. Like it's not exactly the positive stuff. If you call someone boring, kind of an insult. In this case, boring means to relax, unwind and chill out. So boring is actually a positive keyword. Let's take a look at the biggest channel, because that will show you right away what I'm talking about. And we're just gonna watch like a couple of seconds and then I'll talk a little bit about it.
Hey guys, tonight we begin with something a little darker. A time of plagues, punishments and pottage. We're diving into what life was really like during the Middle Ages. Forget the castles and chivalry Hollywood sold you. The truth? You probably wouldn't last a single day. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. Congratulations, you've just woken up in the year 1325. The good news? You're alive. The bad news? So are the fleas. Your bed is a half-rotted straw mattress stuffed with bugs and hay that smell.
Now you get the idea. We watched the first minute, and this video is 100% made with AI. The story is made with AI, the reading, the audio is made with AI, the images are made with AI, the overlay of fire is made with AI. It's all made with AI. And this channel, it really is working because it's a 6-month-old video, 3.9 million views, and it's a 2-hour video. So this channel, it really works. And I started digging in, how is this actually made? Because if someone is able to produce an almost daily video of this length, there must be a system that is uncoverable basically. So that's what we're diving in right here. So let's go back to the presentation, because I will show you on the screen what the recap is, what the conclusion is. So story written and narrated by AI, illustrations by AI for the first 35 minutes using a fire overlay plus fire ambient noise, and a narrative that runs for 1 hour 45 minutes and then 20 minutes of just overlay plus ambient noise. This is good to know, because this means if this channel is working, then it can be reproduced. And I found some tools to figure out how much these channels make, and let's just show it on the screen. So this channel, this is the biggest one that I just showed. This one makes about 6K per month. there are copycats and they also make money. And what stands out here is that the views of videos are much higher than the subscriber count. And I heard in a lot of places that that's like a good indicator of something that might actually be viable. Now, what also stands out here is that this is the only way they make money. My first hunch is like, you know, this is about history and it's about sleeping. So I would hook up sleep-related products and history-related products, but I have not been able to find anything as such. And I think that's like a huge missed opportunity because they clearly have like a really big audience. By clicking further, I did find you know, some information that companies can reach out for, I assume, a product placement, but that's the only way that they are trying to monetize this beyond getting money from YouTube directly. Now, and what also stands out here is that there are copycats, but no real iterations. And let's dive into that a little bit, because a couple of months ago I watched an episode of MFM, and there was this guy, like a product developer, and he had this statement. And this statement, it really clicked for me, because to create a successful product, you have to move one iteration away from something that works. And that doesn't literally mean like one thing of the entire product, but like looking at it from different angles. So I'm just going to give you the example that they gave in the episode. So this guy, he gave the example of vitamins. So in the stores, most tubes are round. So what he did, he made a square tube. Most vitamins, they just state chemicals. So what he did is state what it's good for. Most vitamins look like medicine, and he made it into a desirable object. So the one iteration, it's like looking at the product from like different angles and trying to improve on all those angles. Now, that's also what my take on it is here, like with the boring category. So instead of history, we can do fiction. Instead of a random slice of history, we can do like a recurring setting from a fictional universe. And use, instead of a fire overlay, we can use a rain overlay. I think it's more universal. So that's my basic idea here. And yeah, there are two ways I think you can go about it. It's like if you have like a really huge audience, then it might be something that's interesting for people, you know, for your super fans basically. But I do not have an audience, so I'm going to start from scratch. So that's why, in my case, I'm going to make this a standalone product. So let's make one. Now, and I'm using a Shotcut for this, and Shotcut is freely available. It's a little hard to get used to, but once you do, you can do everything with it. I do notice that sometimes it tends to stick a little bit here and there, but yeah, I think it's a small trade-off because it rarely happens. Now, I already, well, before I start here, of course, I need to show the actual prompt that I'm going to use. So I have a document here in which I have all my scripts and also my prompt design, and I'm going to use the one that I used in the initial presentation. Okay, I'll zoom in and I'll just show you the prompt that I also used during the initial presentation, and I'll talk a little bit about each part. So yeah, this is the first part. So boring history for sleep is like a really big channel, so the AI can figure out what it's about and what sort of template it uses. And if you watched closely to the video, then you saw that it starts with some small talk and also like the statement like, if you really like this, consider subscribing, and also how are you doing, and let me know how your day was, etc, etc. All to have some small talk at the beginning to get the story started. Now, I don't want it to be too long, and the reason for that is that I am starting this with a basic 11labs account. So if I have like a narrative of about 3000 words, I can use like the basic account, and then if it turns out that this thing is going to take off, at that point in time I'm gonna go to the higher tier and I can make longer narrative videos if it turns out that that's the limiting factor. Now, like I stated before, like it starts with some small talk, so I give some examples of that, and I say etc, etc, because then the AI can improvise that. Now, the setting of the mastermind was in a Barbie-inspired house, and the whole take was like tell a better story, get a product that you can charge more for. So this house was not so special, but because they made it in a Barbie theme, it was more special and you could charge more money. Yeah, this is something that we came up with like the night before the presentation, or 2 nights before. And just because it was Halloween on the Friday, so we tried to figure out like a nice Halloween story that could take place here. So it's in the Barbie house, there is a group of friends staying with kids. The kids trampled snails that had come out after the rain. And after dark, other snails come to the house to take revenge. Now, and I always like if stories have a theme, and also that's also something that the AI will literally mention and try to aim the narrative at. So the specific theme of this narrative is to always be kind to animals. So this prompt, I literally copied this and then I posted that in Gemini. So we're in Gemini now and I pasted the prompt. So you can see the prompt here, exactly the same as in the document. I just hit go and this is the story that it came up with. Now, the story as it is, it's pretty much okay. It starts with the small talk. Hello everyone and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you're just joining us, welcome to the latest installment of the boring fictional universe for sleep, where we take the most mundane, gentle-paced concepts and stretch them out until they're wonderfully deliciously tedious, etc, etc. I literally copied this and then I went to elevenlabs. So I literally pasted this in elevenlabs. I removed the title because that's not the strongest opening for a video. And yeah, basically what I did as well is I used my reading voice. So I trained the AI of elevenlabs to use my voice, and funny enough, my voice sounds like me with an American accent. And I think that's great because then it's more universal to understand, but still there's like a slight mode. So all the paragraphs are in my voice. Now, and this, a small insider secret as well, like you can go to project settings here, and if you choose 11 Turbo version 2.5, it's 50% cheaper. So that's what I always use. It's maybe not as good as the best one, but you just get twice the audio. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use that for all my projects moving forward. And the big idea here is that if something is meant to be good, people will pick up on it. So usually this takes a minute to generate. So that's when I usually go to Recraft. Let me just look up the picture that I made for the mastermind, so you can see the prompt. And yeah, I've worked with this one a lot, so I just prompted from scratch. So an old house from the 1970s in the Barbie style. Everything is pink. Location is a lost oasis in the desert. There are trampled slugs on the ground. In the bushes are other slugs waiting for revenge. It's pitch dark, it's rainy, no one is around. And this was the first picture that it made, and it's perfect. It really covers that. Now, and then next up, because like a good sleep video always has like a rain overlay. So you can go to Pixabay and then literally look for rain. Wait, I'm gonna change this to rain overlay. So these are the rain overlays, and yeah, you can just choose any of these. I haven't had any problems with this, like there were no copyright strikes or anything, so these are safe to use. With the audio, however, it's a different story, because for audio I always use YouTube Studio, The audio, maybe it's not like top of the line, but it's good enough. And my experience with using Pixabay and other sites like that, you will get a copyright strike every now and then. But with YouTube Studio for audio, you do not get it. And with these overlays, I also haven't had any problems with that. So I already downloaded one of these. So now is the time we're gonna go back to Shotcut. And I have a new project open. So I'm looking up the file. So I have 3 files, like the overlay, the audio that we generated, and the picture. And I'm just gonna paste it into the editor. Then next I'm gonna drag the audio. I will also drag the picture, and this picture needs to be longer, so I'm gonna make that like 20 minutes long. And then finally I'm gonna paste the overlay. Now, and the only thing that you need to change here is the opacity. So I'm gonna add a filter, opacity, and I'm gonna put this at like maybe 10%. Yeah, something like that. And then if you hit play, this is what it looks like.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you're just joining us, welcome to the latest installment of the boring fictional universe for sleep, where we take the most mundane, gently paced concepts and stretch them out until they are wonderfully, deliciously tedious.
So basically this is the raw version. Like what I do is I add some rain sounds to add to the atmosphere, and also some music, some ambient music. But basically this is the way to do it. So it's much easier than I ever anticipated. So that's why I was kind of blown away. But it really leans on the quality of the script, and that has really been the game changer. Like before the summer it was okay, but after the summer it has become good. And that's the difference. That's why I really made a move on this to make this work. Now let's go back to the presentation. So at the time of the presentation, initially I was 1 week away from launch, but it has been a week now since I launched, so we're gonna take a look at the channel. So this right here is the channel, and yeah, in all honesty, it's not exactly as I expected. Like the views are really not there. But yeah, I'm playing a long game here, and actually, like of course I used the Gemini also as my wingman to analyze all this. And what stands out is the 3rd video here, because you can see like most videos, like no views, 1 view, no views, 3 views, 2 views, no views, 4 views, and then 95 views for 1 video. And according to the to Gemini, this is actually a good indication, and also something to be expected. But also it indicates that this niche is actually quite saturated. So I kind of overestimated the opportunity. I thought that it would be like an extremely easy start from day one. But that's not entirely the case. And so yeah, based on that, I will have to adjust my strategy a little bit. Now what you can see here is also the style of the thumbnails, because this is something that I landed up with while the 3rd video was growing. Like initially it didn't get any views, so that's when I started playing around with like different characters to add to the thumbnail, and that really turned the 3rd video from like almost no views, like literally like 4 or 5 views, to 95 views. So that's why I took that as a sign, like okay, I need to add some characters to this. Now the way to do this is also extremely simple. Like you can literally go to Gemini, Nano Banana, and tell it, hey, turn this into a thumbnail, add a sleepy character. That's all. That's all I did here. And it's a bit of a trial and error as to like which sort of characters you get. Like, so that's why you don't really see consistency here. But it's easier than ever to make this. So in summary, like one breakout video with 9 minutes of average view duration. That was also the 9 minutes of the narrative. So the narrative lasted 9 minutes. Then I had like some music, some rain overlay, and then a big part of it was like a black screen. Now, and like I stated earlier, like this is indicating a more saturated niche. So initially I figured that you know, if I find a lot of channels with a low subscriber count but high view counts, then that's a niche with an opportunity. But right now it turns out to be a little bit different. But I have hope still, because all the competition, those are history channels and this is fiction. So that's why I'm still gonna stick with my plan of uploading every day for the next 2 months at least, and maybe even longer than that, if there are some promising indicators. Now, what I did right away is I identified some metrics for the 2-month mark. So I'm going to look at the average view time. I'm going to look at the click-through rate of at least 3 to 5%. I'm going to look at positive comments and also at returning viewers. Those things, they need to be in place at least by 2 months. At least one of them needs to be in order. Now, and what I also plan to do is, like every third video, I'm gonna turn it into a sleep booster. So the sleep booster is only like the narrative. So like if the breakout video is any indication, is that then it is that the 9 minutes, if that's only narrative, then I will have like a higher retention, because if the sleep booster is only narrative, then it's more likely that people will stick around to listen to that entire narrative, and that results in higher retention. It's something I'm gonna try out and see how that goes. I heard from someone that Mr. Beast experiments with every third video, so I'm using that. Like that's why my every third video is gonna be the sleep booster. Now, and yeah, like I said, like if one of these take off, then it will have like a really high retention, and that will be like a strong signal to the algorithm as well. Now, and also I want to share my strategy and my ideas to start with at video 30. So right now I uploaded 11 videos, or at least 11 videos are live. At video 30 I want to start experimenting with an upside down model, and what I mean by that is that like right now the channel is just like, that's the whole thing basically. But what I want to work towards is that actually the center is going to be a free Discord where fans gather during the day and about an hour before the daily video. And my plan is to drive traffic through there through ads and organic, and I used yeah, and I'm kind of inspired by what Twitter was doing in 2012, because in 2012 they basically had like a nice photo, really short text, and then basically only 2 options, like sign in or log in, or sign in or sign up. And I found like different pictures, so that's something I can emulate as well. But I can, it's still like a raw idea. I haven't fully figured it out yet, but what if I create a page like this, and then the only option is like join our Discord, and if there's an ad running through to this page, and that is the only option, maybe it might work. But it's an idea in progress, but that's something I keep in the back of my mind. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm gonna make a move on this, but I have a feeling that there might be something there. And you know, my larger reasoning is like we've all been there, we've all done it at some point in time. Like you scroll, you know, zombie scrolling, like on YouTube, highly unsatisfying. And I think if you turn it upside down, and instead of zombie scrolling, you go to a Discord where you hang out with people you meet every night. Maybe there's something there, like in my experience, like, and I'm included, like people, we crave connection and community. And Discord, I've experienced that over the last 6 months. Like in the Discord of our secret mastermind, there were like 2 to 3 like super users, and they really made it work. So to make a Discord work, you do not need a lot of those super users to make it into a nice experience. So and also I think that Discord can be a ramp towards a more exclusive paid community. So none of this is set in stone. This is just my reasoning in the moment. Like if this is gonna take off, then this might be an additional angle. And also, like, what I think is the good thing here is that you're less dependent on YouTube, who might decide like, yeah, we don't like your channel anymore. Like this, you have like some more control over, you know, where your viewers are basically. So you have like an additional way of reaching them in case of that. But I also have to be very realistic. Like right now, no views basically. I mean, I don't really count the breakout video. Now, looking back on this video, I think it was a little bit rambly, the last part at least. Like the first part, I'm completely sure about that. Like I know how to make this video. Like how it will take off from here, that's a bit uncertain, but I still want to play it out because I'm just getting started and I have everything ready basically. And I just want to give it the proper amount of time. The upside down model, that's like a raw idea, and that's why I am not speaking with full conviction on that. But I just wanted to share my train of thought because I just want to be radically open about all of this. Now, also let me know what your thoughts are on the boring category. Do you see this as a big wave that's just getting started, or is it already past? What do you think? And also tell me, what can I do to make these videos more to your liking? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. That's it. That's the video.